Alright, so let's dive into what's shaping up to be a game changer for Apple and its approach to AI. Apple, as we know, has always been a bit cagey when it comes to opening up its ecosystem, but now they're taking a significant step by planning to make their AI models accessible to third-party developers, and the announcement is expected at the 2025 Worldwide Developers Conference, also known as the WWDC.
Finally, right? I mean, Apple's been kind of dragging its feet while companies like Google and Samsung have been running laps around them in the AI space.
Exactly. It's been a topic of criticism. Apple's been viewed as lagging behind in AI innovation despite their reputation for cutting-edge tech. But now, by opening up their AI models while still sticking to their privacy-first approach, they might just stir things up. You've got features like email rewriting, notification summarizing, and even photo editing in their Apple Intelligence suite, and those really showcase what these models can do.
Okay, but here's the thing. Some of the most talked about features, like context understanding or handling multi-app requests, they're still, what, a few years out?
Right, those advanced features, they're delayed all the way to 2026, which is kind of a surprise considering Apple's usual pace. It's stuff like Siri figuring out flight schedules from multiple apps or combining reminders and messages in real time. That's complex, but also exactly what people expect from a company like Apple.
Yeah, and meanwhile, competitors are already rolling out similar integrations, so what's the holdup with Apple? Is it just the scale, or is there something deeper going on here?
It's a mix of factors. Apple's been juggling priorities with other projects like their Vision Pro headset and chip development, which means fewer resources devoted to their AI advancements. And honestly, their focus on privacy and on-device processing adds another level of complexity. It's not as straightforward as just going full cloud like some competitors.
Classic Apple. They can't just roll something out. It's gotta be this huge, calculated move. But still, I gotta admit, strategically opening their models to developers is, well, it's big, especially for third-party apps.
Definitely. And it's a clear pivot. Historically, Apple kept their tech pretty locked up, but with this shift, they're inviting developers to enhance Apple's ecosystem with smarter, more personalized experiences. It feels like they're banking on third-party innovation to tackle the gaps from those delayed features.
Which might actually be kinda genius if you think about it. They let developers do the heavy lifting while Apple just sits back and collects the ecosystem benefits.
True. The question now is whether this will truly pull them ahead in the AI race or just help them play catch-up with competitors.
Right. And given their track record, well, it's going to be fun watching this unfold.
And this strategic pivot Apple's making, it's already showing promise. With the new SDK and set of frameworks they're rolling out, developers now have access to tools they've never had before. Before this, building an app meant working around Apple's pretty limited AI tools, things like Siri or their basic on-device features. But now, they're offering direct access to the underlying AI models themselves, which opens up a whole new world of personalized and intelligent app possibilities.
Finally, right? I mean, think about what developers could do with this. They could integrate real-time language translation in apps or, something like predictive typing that actually works. It's about time Apple let them in.
Exactly. And Apple's initial focus has been on smaller models that work directly on your device. This fits their privacy policy, but it also ties into their hardware, like the neural engine in your iPhone. They're saying, hey, build something smart but keep it local so user data stays safe.
Which, by the way, is kind of genius. I mean, they get to stay on brand with the whole privacy-first thing while still catching up with Google and Samsung, who have, let's face it, been ahead in this game for a while.
Yeah, they've definitely been playing catch-up. Google's Tensor chip, for example, is already powering advanced AI models in Pixel devices. Samsung too, with their partnership with Google and Microsoft. They've all been leveraging AI to make devices more seamless and intuitive.
Meanwhile, Apple's just now handing developers the keys to the kingdom.
Pretty much, but it's a smart pivot. I remember consulting with a startup a couple years ago. They had this killer app idea, think AI-driven photo curation meets social media, but they hit a wall trying to deliver it on the Apple ecosystem. Without native AI integration options, everything was slow and clunky. Honestly, this SDK would have saved them so much time and frustration.
That's got to resonate with a lot of developers out there. Finally, having access to these models could be a game changer for apps, especially the ones trying to stand out with smarter features.
It's definitely giving developers a chance to innovate in ways they couldn't before, whether it's integrating AI into smaller aspects of apps or building entirely new capabilities from scratch.
And it's a win-win for Apple too. They're not just fixing their app ecosystem, they're actually encouraging developers to keep things fresh, you know? It's like adding more players to their team.
Exactly. The big question is whether they can really capitalize on this timing. With their head start, Google and Samsung are tough competition to beat. Building on this momentum, Apple seems to be taking it a step further with Project Solarium, this bold move that marries their AI advancements with a refined, more intuitive UI. It feels like they're not just empowering developers, but also aiming to rethink how users interact with their devices altogether.
Yeah, the whole glass-like interface thing sounds cool and all, like very sci-fi. But what's the actual point besides looking fancy?
Good question. It's about creating a more immersive experience that feels intuitive. Think layers of information, spatial organization. It's a direct inspiration from their Vision Pro headset, where everything seems to float and respond contextually. Pair that with their AI advancements and you've got a recipe for a deeply personalized user interaction.
Okay, but does that really matter to the average person? Like, are people gonna notice if their apps stack up like pancakes or appear in, I don't know, holographic layers?
Maybe not explicitly, but the experience of using a device could feel smoother, more intuitive. You won't think, oh, this is spatial, but you may feel like information is quicker, closer to what you need when you need it. It's an evolution of user experience.
All right, fair. But let's be real, none of this works unless Apple solves the whole data privacy versus AI power thing.
And that's the crux, isn't it? Apple's sticking to their guns with AI tasks running locally on devices through tools like the Neural Engine instead of offloading sensitive data to the cloud. It's a slower path, but way more secure. Privacy isn't just a tagline for them, it's a cornerstone.
Meanwhile, their competitors are like, here's the power of the cloud, use it. But I gotta respect the hustle. Local processing means fewer, oops, your data ended up somewhere it shouldn't be moments, right?
Exactly. By keeping it local, they protect user data while still enabling AI features like vision recognition or context-aware responses. It's privacy-first innovation.
Okay, but beyond privacy and visual gimmicks, will this really change how people actually use their devices? Like, are we talking about AI that finally does something useful every day, or more bells and whistles?
A bit of both. Apple's aiming for a future where your device feels more proactive and predictive, adapting to you without needing constant input, but catching up to competitors like Google and Samsung is still a tall order. It's one thing to innovate, but making it meaningful for users is the key challenge here.
Yeah, like great ideas, but will they stick the landing? I mean, when's the last time a redesign didn't have folks complaining for weeks?
True, it all boils down to execution. If they get this right, it could redefine the AI experience on mobile devices. If not, well, they'll give the competition a reason to celebrate.
Ha, let's hope for their sake it's the first one. Either way, it's going to be interesting to watch this play out.
Absolutely, and whether it's the privacy angle, the transparent UI, or AI upgrades in 2026, it's clear they're betting big on pushing boundaries.
And that's all for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, keep an eye on what Apple's cooking up. It's sure to make waves, even if they're a little late to the party.
Yeah, exciting times lie ahead. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.